Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Pollard Gymnasium for tonight's home game with the Shortridge basketball team. Coach, let's go back a couple of games. I know starting with the Ben Davis game and the Park Tudor game, in my opinion, you guys really showed signs of improvement. And last Friday night, you traveled to Tri-West and played a great first half, kind of continued that streak. Talk to us a little bit about that Tri-West game from the beginning to the end.
Tri-West game was I mean, even though we lost, and we're not in it for moral victories, but our kids are really starting to buy in. They bought in all year long, but they're really starting to understand what we're trying to do, how we have to play. Again, with a team our size, where we are, we have to move the basketball, we have to move ourselves, then we have to continue on the defensive end to continue to box out. And for a half the other night, we were up 39-28 at halftime, came out, unfortunately in the second half, we turned the ball over 4 times and we shot, I think we made 2 shots out of the 10 we took. So we struggled a little bit, but having said that, we were only down 53-50. We got fourth quarter, had a chance to cut it to 1 on a miss on a layup, and we just didn't make that, and then continued to battle, and unfortunately they pulled away at the end. But we actually, with all our kids, we broke down our possessions of our offense, and the times we scored with 3 or more passes, 2 or more passes, 1 pass, and then 0 passes, just because we need to try to continue to tell our kids, all right, if we move the basketball, even though we're small, we're going to get driving lanes, or we've been doing a very good job here lately shooting the 3-point shot. We've been taking about 20 a game, and we're right around the 40% mark over since the Ben Davis game. So 40% is our goal, so we're looking at trying to continue to kick it out, get our guys going, and then play downhill a little bit too. So on our fast break offense, we tend to get some good shots as well. So our kids are right there. To our kids' credit, practices have still been enthusiastic. They're still doing everything we've asked them to do, and we've told them, starting after the Ben Davis games, those 10 games we play, in my opinion, are all toss-ups. And tonight's no different, but we got a chance where we could legitimately win 8 in a row and be hot going into section.
You kind of took my second question right out of the air there when you mentioned the 3-point shooting, because I noticed that on the season your 3-point shooting percentage is up. So basically you attribute that to better passing, more patience on offense?
Better ball movement, better people movement, and when you make the defense chase you around for 4 or 5 passes, you make them play for 30 seconds or more, they tend to kind of lose interest in it, want to go to the other end, so that leaves our guys open. So yeah, we're pushing that a lot, and tonight, not to jump ahead, but I think Shortridge may play some zone, so I'll be real interested to see how our possessions are. And on a side note too, our defensive average has actually been creeping down as well. Got as high as 68 points. Right now it's sitting at about 60.9. We'd like it to be around 58. But before the Tri-West game, we were down to 59.2. But some of that is because we possess the ball offensively, make people guard so they have less energy on offense, and that only helps us out.
Sure.
Coach, I'll segue that and saying when you coached and when I coached varsity basketball, the analytics was not the part of what basketball is today. And not that it's bad today. I think it's a good thing. It just didn't exist back looking at all the stats he just rattled off to us. Talk to us a little bit about Shortridge, opponent tonight.
Shortridge is, I would say they're similar to us. Obviously they come in the record. Some people might look at it and think, okay, they're not a very good team, but they are one of the more athletic teams we faced. Their schedule is also very tough. They also switched over conferences. They had to get rid of, I understand they had to get rid of one of their best players on the season. They do have a great senior, number 24, Alex Ogden. He's a left-handed player. The fans at home will probably enjoy watching him. We won't enjoy coaching against him or trying to stop him, but he's high energy, does a great job inside. And he's going to be someone we'll have to contain. And then they have number 3, Avery, I think Giles is his name. He's their best outside shooter. He's another guy that we'll be really close to. And then they've just kind of been, I went and saw them last night against Bethesda, and they played 2 kids that they hadn't played before. So it looks like they're searching a lot. And again, they did win last night, but their schedule is such that they're playing tougher teams like we are, and just trying to find their way. And then they host their sectional, and they're going to have a tough sectional. But I think they're looking to get a couple wins before that happens too.
Well, I know they've got a couple 6'3", 6'4" kids, so once again we're going to be at a size disadvantage. Yes. But for the most part, I felt like in the last ball game, your kids have really worked on boxing out too. People aren't out rebounding them like they were earlier in the season either, I don't think.
No, and it's been an emphasis in practice. And again, our kids are buying into that. Okay, this is what you need to do. And we've showed them, all right, here's where we've given up rebounds, here's where we haven't. And I know you call it analytics, but I just call it old-fashioned. You just break it down to what you need to do well. And one of our quotes for the season talked about don't pick too many details to perfect, but perfect is 2 or 3 details that you really want to hone in on. So right now our details are, let's go 10 or less turnovers, and let's make sure we only give up 8 offensive rebounds in a game. 2 a quarter, I know you can live with that. So, we're looking forward to that.
Well, good luck tonight, and we will talk to you after the game.
Okay, great.
We'll be right back. We are back here at Morris Pollard Gymnasium. In between games, the JV game and the varsity game for the boys tonight against Shortridge, and we are here with Coach Joe Smith, our girls varsity basketball coach here at Speedway High School, and leading scorer on the varsity team so far this year, Maddie Barnes. Coach, let's start with you. Tell us just kind of a synopsis of the season up to this point. High points, low points.
It's easy to do. Early, our schedule was really tough. I think the meat grinder of our schedule was early. I think we're playing teams that are right now currently ranked #1 in the state, probably a chance to win the state championships, who we opened the season with. They're a conference school. That was tough. Our goal is every quarter of the season is to have a winning record. We split the season into 4s. The last 4th being the state tournament. Early in the year that didn't happen. We struggled a little bit early to find ourselves and get our legs. We weren't shooting the ball very well early in the season. Since then, we've picked it up pretty well. We're shooting about 45% of the season. That's easy because you win basketball games, you shoot the ball well. So we spent a lot of time on that. As of late, we played really well. At one point, we had won 10 games in a row. Tomorrow night will be our final home game. And then we'll play in the sectional the following week.
We've talked up here before that when you shoot well, it covers a multitude of sins. When you don't shoot well, you got to make up for that somewhere if you're going to win games against good teams. Right. Defense, rebounding, things of that nature. Good news, bad news for the season up to this point.
Good news, we're sitting at 15 wins. Wins are always good to have. Good news, kids have gotten better. They've started to gel pretty well lately. Unselfish. We've got multiple kids, one of which is our point guard's #2 in the state in assists in any class. Maddie Barnes is right up in the top 15 or 20 assist-wise. We share the basketball really, really well. They have a desire to get better. They want to win. They want to get the program back to a state level where I feel that we can get to. Bad news, long season. Gauntlet of the season. I mean, you start basically at middle of October. You don't play in the state tournament until February. You're going through major holidays, and that's always a tough thing for kids. It's tough for coaches and trying to keep people engaged. So I'd say if there was a bad thing, it's just typical length of the season, just as meat grinder for us.
2 points you made I want to comment on, and Coach Probst and I up here have talked many times that the job of a high school coach, be it boys or girls teams, you don't get to go out and recruit your players. You don't get to go find a 6'3" center somewhere. You don't get to go find a wizard ball handler somewhere. You take who walks through the door at your public school. And therefore, and I heard many speakers back in the years when I was coaching in the 80s say that the job of a high school coach is get kids to play together and play hard. You made the comment your team is unselfish, and I would agree with that. Maddie's the leading scorer, and we're going to talk to her in just a second, but she's unselfish. Camille is unselfish. Your team is not a, hey, look at me and what I can do. It's what we can do, and that doesn't happen everywhere. So from that point, from a spectator's point of view, the good news is your team plays unselfishly and they play hard. In the other thing that you had talked about, I'm going to talk to you about. You're a player. How do you see, are you where you want to be? Are you not where you want to be? The second thing I want to ask you, and so you can be thinking about both of them at the same time, he mentioned about it's a long season. You've come straight from volleyball into this. And you know and I know there's a difference between being in volleyball shape and being in basketball shape. And your team is not blessed with a lot of depth, which means everybody's got to play a lot of minutes. So talk to me about minutes, your team. Has this been satisfying, not satisfying?
Well, when I was like a freshman, I would not shoot the ball ever. Like, I would be so hesitant to shoot. And this year, I've lost the hesitant like a little bit, and I'm shooting more, and like we're all looking for each other on the floor, which is so much better. And I mean, we all play as a team, and it's just so much fun out there. Like I have fun every game, so.
Practices maybe not so much fun, but
I mean,
that's where we get better.
Yeah, we can always tell that we. We can always tell that we get better. I mean, like today we did a bunch of shooting, and personally, I felt like I got better because, I mean, I always have my elbow out when I shoot, and I know to fix that when I'm in practice, and we do it so much that it helps immensely.
Well, I know I enjoy watching you play. You're a nice player.
Thank
and
you.
I don't say that just because you're standing there.
Thank you.
But this school, not just about athletics, it's about academics too. Talk to me. I have no idea what your grade point average is, or whether you get all A's or all D's or what. Tell me a little bit about grades first, and then tell me about your class schedule.
Alright, well, my grades are okay. Sometimes I get too caught up and I get stressed out, and then I worry more about sports, and then I forget, oh, I'm a student before I'm an athlete. But yeah, it's going good. My schedule's okay.
Tell me first period through school day. Where do you go first period?
First period I have AP Lang with Mr. Lindhorn. Second period I have Personal Finance with Mr. Dunphy. Third period I have Chemistry with Miss Halp. Fourth period I have Mr. Wills, Geometry. Fifth period I have TA for Mr. Avery. Sixth period I have AP Psychology, and then seventh period I have Gym.
So it's not the easiest of schedules.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Tell me something about Speedway High School now. I asked Coach Smith about something good and something bad. I'm a good news, bad news person. Tell me something that you think is great about Speedway High School, and then something not so good.
Well, the great thing is that I've grown up with everyone here since I was like in elementary school. So I mean, we all know each other, and yeah. But then the bad part is also everyone knows all your business and everything. So
You know what?
it's a good and bad.
Well, I taught here for 20 years, and I used to ask students the same question, and it was the same thing in the 70s and 80s, that it's small, you know where to go to get help from teachers, you know kids in the hall, everybody gets along, we don't have fights here at school. The bad news is everybody knows everybody's business,
Yeah.
and the rumors and sometimes things like that can be a headache. Coach?
Joe, last year, about this time of the year, I left this gym on a Friday night, and I told Mr. Avery, of all the years I've been here, 31 years, that was the most exciting, entertaining game on the wrong end of the Covenant Christian game I have ever seen in this gymnasium since I've been here. What a game. Here we are a year later. Talk to us a little bit. I can't believe the season's about over, but talk to us about the sectional coming up next week, if you would.
Obviously, it's an exciting time. We tell our kids it's the best time of the year. It always is. You know, the sectional is very, very competitive. We're up in the 3A bracket now. Indian Creek, Ritter, and us are the top 3 teams in the sectional. We played Ritter early in the year. We had a chance to win the game late, had a turnover, and they ended up getting beat by 4. I think we're a much better basketball team now than we were then. That's probably who we'll play in the semifinal. We drew the bye, so we'll play a week from Friday at Washington High School against Ritter. Get a win there, we'll play in the championship, more than likely against Indian Creek. Indian Creek and Ritter are pretty close in the ratings. We're within about 10 points of them in the ratings, so if you get that close, I think anything can happen. But I would anticipate either us or Ritter and Indian Creek in the championship game.
Okay, so people will know this is next Friday night, and we drew the bye, and we're playing first game or second game?
First game, 6 o'clock game.
First game, 6 o'clock. Well, good luck in that game. I hope it's just as exciting as it was last year, except the scores reversed.
I think it will be. It was an exciting game last year, but obviously playing Ritter around here, as you know, is a rival. Our kids will be fired up. We won't have to give a lot of motivation for that. They'll be self-motivated for that game.
Sure. Well, as young ladies right now are watching us, that might be in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, tell them about some opportunities that they have to get better, maybe not just during the season, but during the summer, and things that they can do between now as your season winds down till next October when you begin again.
I mean, I tell any kid, just play. But there's some things that we do in the summer. We have our summer camp that we run for our youth kids. We're trying to get our kids more involved in, I'm not even sure if travel or AAU is the right word, but just playing. There's a lot of skill development that we do with kids. I would say, there's a facility here on the west side of Indianapolis called Shoot 360. It's a great facility for ball handling and shooting, and I think that helps. Going to camps, going away to camps, I think are important, not just coming to like a day camp in the summer. There's all kinds of those opportunities around. The group of kids that we have right now, when they were growing up, I think part of the reason that they are so skilled is because they went and did those things. And that's, for some parents, they're not really sure how to go about finding those things, but contacting us here at the school, we have all kinds of information on that stuff. We'll send stuff home with our elementary kids. Where can you go play at? When is our camp? And try to just get as many kids involved as we can at a young age.
This is one person's opinion, but I'm really glad that you talked about skill development, because I think sometimes when all you do is play game after game after game after game, sometimes you kind of lose that wanting to be competitive and things. But I think it's, Yogi Ferrell, when he was in school, didn't play any AAU until later, and he developed skills and became a very good player.
Right, and with our youth in the winter, that's all we do is skill development. We play a little 3-on-3, 4-on-4 type stuff, but it's heavily into skill development.
Good.
She would tell you in practice, the first hour of our practice is nothing but skills. It's shooting, it's ball handling, it's footwork, and I think that's part of the reason that our skill set's pretty high right now.
It's called fundamentals.
Yes, exactly.
One last thing. Take a step down. We didn't want you to think Coach Smith recruited a 6-foot-tall player here, so she's been standing on a bench behind us. But I want to conclude by saying this. Speedway could not function without multi-sport athletes. There's not enough kids here. And you are a great example of a really good athlete, in part because you play volleyball and basketball and softball. And I want to congratulate you. I know it takes a lot of time, but our school could not function if it weren't for people like you.
Thank you.
And you not only are a 3-sport athlete, you are a 3-sport good athlete.
Thank
and I want to congratulate you. We'll be right back with the starting lineup for tonight's boys game.
As we honor the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the Speedway High School Band under the direction of Amy Bowl. Blue Devils are coached by Jeff Drake. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Speedway Sparkplugs. Starting at one guard, number 22, Carson Harrison. At guard, number 24, Reese Walker. At guard, number 32, Drew Valentine. At forward, number 30, Devin Ruffin. At forward, number 34, Zeke Perez. The Plugs are coached by Charles Bennett, assisted by Dan Rosario and Tim Murley. Officials for this evening's game are Tim Cartwright, Michael Nicholson, and Matt Welding.
Starting lineups once again quickly for the Shortridge Blue Devils. Number 1, Jaden Brookings at a guard. Number 3, Avery Giles. Number 12, Ethan Powell, a freshman. Number 24, the leading scorer, leading rebounder, Alex Ogden, 6'4" senior. And Jaden Mullenix, a 6'4" junior. 2 6'4" kids will start for the Blue Devils. For the Sparkplugs, Carson Harrison, Reese Walker, Jevin Ruffin, Drew Valentine, and Zeke Perez. Their normal starting lineup. Blue Devils get the jump to start the game. Sparkplugs in man-to-man defense. And Ogden, leading scorer, averaging 11 points a game, starts the scoring off. Shortridge also starting in a man-to-man defense. Heard Coach Bennett talk in his interview about the importance of 3, 4, 5 passes for our offense to work effectively. Jevin Ruffin with a nice spin move, and he scores. It's 2-2. Interesting, Coach, that their ball handlers are 6'4", starts their offense anyway. Offensive rebound pulled down by the Blue Devils. Ethan Powell on the first shot that missed. Blue Devils will have the ball out of bounds. Keying the ball inbounds is Ogden. Ogden short on the shot, an offensive rebound once again by the Blue Devils. Once again by the Blue Devils, an offensive rebound. Mullenix no good. And we've got an over the back called on the Blue Devils. Coach, we've got to solve the offensive rebounding.
We are less than 2 minutes into the game, and number one glaring key right now is we're not going to be able to give them more than a shot every time they come down the floor.
Carson Harrison with a 3, that's good.
Harrison for 3.
Plugs lead 5-2. Couple minutes into the game. Good ball movement on the part of the Blue Devils. Ogden with a nice pass to Mullenix, goes out of bounds, deflected off the Sparkplugs. Once again, Alex Ogden. .6'4" senior. Mullenix 42, a 6'4" junior. Been moving a field goal by freshman Ethan Powell, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Drew Valentine on the foul. Ethan Powell will have the opportunity to make the old-fashioned three-point play. The Sparkplugs with a field goal and a three-pointer so far. He misses free throw. Drew Valentine, a 5'7" guard, comes down with a rebound. Harrison with a nice back cut, gets fouled on the play. And fouls once again on Avery Giles, his second. 2 fouls on the Blue Devils, both on Avery Giles. Carson Harrison's going to go to the line for 2. And this is the first.
In the game for Shortridge, number 21.
Coach, in our last couple home games, one of the noticeable things, we didn't shoot very many free throws, and hope that changes tonight. A nice cut there by Harrison to earn himself 2 free throws. Now we need to take advantage of it.
On the season, we're shooting more than 50 free throws less than our opponents on the year. That's a result of a lot of things, but we're averaging around 10 or 11 attempts a game, and you'd like to see that up about 15 to 18. I know last week, if I remember correctly, we did not shoot 1 free throw in our game.
Three-point shot attempt by Willie Mitchell, no good. Nathan Metallic into the game for the Sparkplugs, takes it to the basket. Nathan Metallic in for Zeke Perez. Inbound goes to Jevin Ruffin. Back cut by Nate Metallic. Nice pass out. Carson Harrison. We're going to have a foul on 24, I believe. Alex Ogden with his first. Carson Harrison will inbound it. 4:36 remaining in this first quarter. Plugs lead 6-4. Drew Valentine on the drive, off the front of the rim. Alex Ogden with a rebound. Ball comes back to Ogden on the baseline. Pass over to Brookins. Takes a long 3. And the rebound comes down to Nate Metallic. Coach Bennett calling out an offense for the Plugs this time. Harrison on another back cut, back out to Drew Valentine. Good ball movement. Valentine cashes in on the 3-pointer, and it's 9-4. Good ball movement that time, Coach. Plugs now in a 2-3 zone. Brookins from the corner, and that's good. Jaden Brookins with a 3-pointer. The Blue Devils close the gap to 9-7.
Shortridge defense, man-to-man, not overly aggressive. We're getting really about every pass we want to complete, we can.
Nate Metallic with a free throw line jumper. It was our understanding they do a lot of 2-3 zone, but we haven't seen that yet. Been all man-to-man by the Blue Devils. Brookins again from 3-point range. Nice block out by Jaden Ruffin.
I think the only reason that we didn't get the offensive rebound or defensive rebound there was because of the height advantage. I thought Jevin did a great job of blocking out.
They did. Jump ball, Speedway possession. Alternate possession, Speedway ball. Ruffin over to Reese Walker. Reese Walker on the drive. Yeah, it's a play you see a lot more now than what you used to see years ago. Driving to the basket and whipping out to the corner to a 3-point shooter or whatever. That sometimes they might have a better chance of a layup than
I remember several years ago, Clark Tudor played here, and that was one of their pre-game drills. Was dribble baseline and pass it out the other side.
Valentine drives and a nice left-handed layup. That's his 5th point. Plugs lead 13-7. Jumper by Ethan Powell, no good. Nathan Metallic comes down with a rebound. Coach Bennett once again calling out an offense. Good ball movement. Drew Valentine with a three, no good this time. Brookins with the ball for the Blue Devils. Gets it inside to Mullenix. Misses the short shot inside. Gets his own rebound twice. Finally puts it in. A couple more offensive rebounds there, Coach, for the Blue Devils. Elvin Camacho with his first shot of the game, no good. He's the leading three-point shooter, percentage-wise, for the Sparkplugs. Mullenix with another field goal. The case, Coach, of their 6'4" kids are taking advantage of our 6-foot kid.
Their inside people right now are doing a really good job of positioning. Good bucket.
Nate Metallic with a nice move and a field goal for his 4th point. .30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Plugs lead 15-11. Plugs in a 2-3 zone. Brookins misses. Reese Walker comes down with a rebound. Elvin Camacho for 3, no good, and that completes the first quarter.
Number 23, Josh Driver, checks in.
Didn't really get a chance to talk too much before the game, but Shortridge comes in with a record of 3-12. They actually won last night to beat Bethesda Christian, but when you look at their schedule, so far in the year, out of 15 games, 11 of their games have been on the road. They started off their first 5 games were on the road. I usually don't go through an entire schedule, I won't, but I'm going to point out a few things. They opened up with Attucks. Attucks this week won the city championship. Next, they play a very good university team who's been ranked. They also played Brebeuf on the road early in the year. After that, Chittard, who's having a very good year this year. Then they came back Oldenburg, who's ranked in single A. Then they had a couple of 4A schools, Franklin and Roncalli. And since they played Greenwood Christian, this is actually their last road game of the year. So considering everything, how young they are, how many road games they've had, Coach Bennett said, we're really 2 teams mirroring each other. It's taken us this long to kind of find ourselves, and for Shortridge, the same thing.
So they've played 15 games, and 11 or 12 of them have been on the road. And then they've got 6 straight home games to finish the season. You know, up to this point, leading scorer 24, Alex Ogden. He has 2 points, but he's unselfish. In fact, their whole team appears to be an unselfish team. Jaden Brookins has 3, Ethan Powell has 2, Alex Ogden 2, and Jalen Mullenix 4. Gonna have a foul on Jaden Brookings. For the Plugs, Carson Harrison has 4 points, Jevin Ruffin 2, Drew Valentine 5, and freshman Nate Metallic 4. So 4 different players for the Sparkplugs have scored, 4 different players for Shortridge have scored, and we're going to have a foul, I believe, on number 12.
Number 33.
Correction, 33. Elias Diallo, that's his first. I believe he must have got hit in the head and cut himself or scratched himself or something. I think they're putting pad on him of some sort.
Fans, a reminder, the Booster Club is selling tickets for the Booster Bash at the concession.
Coach Bennett takes a 30-second timeout.
The bash is scheduled for Saturday, February 29th. Tickets at the door will be $30.
I always think it's kind of,
Now support the Sparkplugs.
from an educational standpoint, it's kind of fun to talk about when you play teams like Shortridge and Addicts. And a lot of our younger fans, you got to be old like us to remember the tradition that these schools have had. I know my first game ever in Hinkle Fieldhouse, I was a 6th grader. My dad took me to semi-state, and they were in the final game of semi-state. I'll never forget, they got beat on the last second shot by Newcastle. But their school closed down in '81 for several years and was a junior high. And I think in 2011 or 2010 is when they came back as a high school. Now they're a medical, or not a medical magnet, but I think they're a legal magnet school. But a little known fact, they are the oldest public high school in the state of Indiana, Shortridge High School is. So I say Mayor Richard Lugar, but Senator Richard Lugar, probably their #1 graduate, and a very proud community. And I agree with you. I think they're very well coached. We've played them now several years. They were in our sectional, and they were very young. Last year they graduated from seniors, and they're kind of back this year to getting that youth movement back. By the way, it's a little bit unusual that a freshman plays varsity, and tonight we've got 2 of them, one for each team.
Reese Walker hits both free throws. To add a little bit to your history, my dad were alive, he'd be 100 years old this month.
Oh, wow.
He went to Shortridge High School, and so did my mother.
Oh, wow. Did not know that.
That's where they met. So Shortridge's been around a long time. They've had a great history, particularly in the 60s in Indianapolis.
Went to a Final Four in 1968, and as I said, got beat in 67 in a buzzer beater. Good move.
Zeke Perez with the offensive rebound for the Sparkplugs. Nice spin move by Reese Walker, misses. The Blue Devils come down with the rebound. Jai Stringer, who is also a freshman. .33, Elias Diallo, also a freshman. So on the floor right now for the Blue Devils are 3 freshmen. Carson Harrison with another 3 that gives him 7 points on the night. Plugs lead 20-11. So 3 freshmen on the floor right now with Alex Ogden, their leading scorer, a senior. And we're going to have another foul, I believe, on Alex Ogden. That'll be his second. So Ogden with 2, Giles with 2 for the Blue Devils.
Devin Ruffin back in the game. Willie Mitchell back in the game.
Jevin Ruffin gives Zeke Perez a breather. Blue Devils will take the ball out of bounds. Goes into Ogden. I believe that's going to be the second foul on Drew Valentine. And it is.
Foul on Speedway, Drew Valentine.
That's his second.
Foul on line 2.
Ethan Powell misses the first free throw of a 2-shot foul. Alvin Camacho, his first field goal of the night for 3. We've got a timeout taken by the Blue Devils. Coach, I'm just looking at my stats, and I've got Blue Devils with 6 fouls. The scoreboard has 5. We shall see. 23-12, 6:22 remaining in this first half.
Both teams are averaging in the mid to upper 40s, so not over the course of the whole season, not a lot of scoring, but Plugs are off to a really good start, 23 points, not even halfway through the second quarter. Coach Bennett talked about our improvement defensively. Since the Cecina game, we've given up 35, 52, 56, 56, 50, and 40 points. And I know our goal is in the 50s, so he's got to be happy about that.
Yeah. Well, as we pointed out, the Blue Devils are very young. Sparkplugs on the floor right now have a sophomore, freshman, 2 seniors, and a junior. So both teams young out on the floor right now. Reese Walker short on his jumper. Shot attempt by a freshman, Josh Strigger, is no good. Plugs race down the floor. Walker's shot is no good. Willie Mitchell with a shot. Plugs come down with a rebound, 23-12.
That's a good call.
Number 30, Devin Ruffin.
Push off on the offensive foul by Jevin Ruffin. Be nice, Coach, with Drew Valentine out of the lineup to come down and take a little more time than what we've taken the last 2 or 3 times down the floor. Make those 4 or 5 passes before the shot. Once again, Sparkplugs in a 2-3 zone. Sparkplug ball.
Steve Perez back in the game for the Plugs.
And back into the game for Blue Devils, 42, Jalen Mullinex, mentioned before, a 6'4" junior. Reese Walker with a 3, no good. Reese Walker doesn't take very many threes.
No, he
that was a little short.
Good move. A miss.
Brookins misses the layup. Elvin Camacho for 3. If there was a case, one long pass down the floor, Coach, and the Sparkplug ball out of bounds.
Yeah, we've gotten away a little bit from what we were doing early in the game. Be nice right now to build a bigger lead. Shortridge is having a hard time scoring. We've been stuck on 23 here for a little while.
Reese Walker shot blocked from the free throw line. The jump ball, the Sparkplug ball. Debris out on the floor.
Neither team has scored for over 3 minutes.
Camacho with a bad pass out of bounds, and it'll be Shortridge ball. Kind of a lull, like you say, in the scoring. Both, and they've had opportunities and thrown some away, and we've had opportunities and thrown some away. Score remains 23-12. A little over 3 minutes remaining in this first half. 3-on-1 break. Nice unselfish play by Carson Harrison over to Reese Walker, who was fouled on the shot. Strigger with his first foul. Reese Walker at the line for 2.
Jevin Ruffin returns for the Plugs.
Jevin Ruffin replaces Elvin Camacho.
Reese Walker brings a really nice level of playing physical, just like he did in football. A very physical player. Even though he's not very big,
Reese Walker's a nice sophomore basketball player, and as you alluded to, football was good for him.
Absolutely.
I mean, he wasn't afraid, and did a nice job for Coach Steve Ray's football team. 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight, and that's all his 4 points.
A lot of people would say he's not afraid to mix it up, and that's a good thing.
Carson Harrison on the drive, and he scores. Carson Harrison now with 9 points, leading scorer for the Plugs. A nice reverse layup by Ethan Powell, freshman that we have talked about. He's now got 5 points. Makes him the leading scorer for the Blue Devils. Nathan Metallic I believe it's going to be an offensive foul on Ethan Powell. .144 remaining in this first half. Plugs lead 27-14. Ball goes into Metallic. Zeke Perez. Turnover by the Plugs gives the ball back to the Shortridge Blue Devils. Mullinex will inbound it to Jaden Brookins. Long shot by Willie Mitchell goes out of bounds. Sparkplugs will inbound at 1:23. Seconds, and I was going to say, Jevin Ruffin was in there a long time.
He got stuck in there and couldn't find anybody to use his dribble and couldn't find anybody to pass it to. We're getting a little, trying to play a little quick. You got to have good movement, but I think offensively we need to slow down a little bit and determine whether or not we've got a scoring situation.
Brookins with his second 3. Lead cut to 10, 27-17, 40 seconds left. Devin Ruffin scores, and we've got a foul inside.
I mentioned this last week in the Pollard Tutor game. Devin Ruffin was really coming into his own as a senior basketball player, paid his dues, played a lot of JV, and reaping the benefits right now. He's really playing some good basketball here toward the end of his senior year.
Yeah, I was going to say a minute ago, both he and Zeke Perez are seniors. They're both very unselfish, do all the dirty work inside. Ethan Powell with three-pointer. Zeke Perez with a three-pointer. That may be his first of the year, Coach. We'll have to check that. But we'll be right back. The score at halftime, Plugs 33, Blue Devils 20, and we'll be back with your scoring the first half. We are back here at Pollard Gymnasium where the Sparkplugs lead at halftime 33-20 over the Shortridge Blue Devils. Quickly scoring, Coach, and then I'm going to ask you your thoughts on the first half. Leading scorer for the Blue Devils is Ethan Powell, a freshman, who has 8 points. Jaden Brookings has 6 on 2 threes. Alex Ogden, their leading scorer, has only 2 points. Leading scorer for the year has only 2 points. And Jalen Mullenix, 4 points for their total of 20. Sparkplugs, 7 different people have scored, led by Carson Harrison, 9 points. Elvin Camacho has a 3 for 3. Reese Walker has 4 free throws for his total of 4. Devin Ruffin has 5 points. Drew Valentine, 5 points. Zeke Perez, 3 points. Nate Metallic, 4. So 7 different plugs have scored, the least of which is 3 points, most of which is 9 points. Coach, thoughts about the first half?
Well, I think after about the first 3 or 4 minutes, we kind of got their offensive rebounding cleaned up. That really was not a problem the rest of the half. I thought in the second quarter in particular, we were getting into a little bit of a hurry on offense. Maybe trying to force things a little bit too quickly, rather than getting the defense spread out a little bit, then making your moves. But at the same time, we're able to build a 13-point lead. So defensively, I think we're doing a nice job. I think Shortridge is struggling offensively, as they would be with playing a lot of time 3 freshmen in the line at the same time. But important for us to come out and get a good start here. We haven't had a lot of chances this year. We're in this position. We were in this position last Friday night at Tri-West, up 9 points at halftime. As Coach Bennett said, came out in the third quarter and kind of threw it away a little bit. Let's see if we learn from that. And that's, no matter what level you're at, especially with a team like we have, a beginning team, have we learned from some of the mistakes in our past? And we're going to find out here in the first 3 or 4 minutes. A great chance for us to jump on them early and let's get this balloon, this lead up to about 18.
You just led into what my comment was going to be. The first 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter will be important in determining the outcome of the game. Simply to see if we can seize the momentum and build on this lead, or if we lose what we worked 16 minutes to get.
3-point basket by Giles.
Avery Giles leads off the half with a 3-pointer.
Just as you watch us when we're on offense, no matter where you're here at home watching, just kind of notice the spacing on our player. We're a much better team when we're spaced around the floor rather than we getting bunched up in little areas. And I think this offense right here gives us an opportunity to be really spaced out.
Carson Harrison misses a 3-point shot attempt. And 2 big guys handle the ball for Shortridge. Ogden and Mullenix. Mullenix fouled on the play.
I think if I was Shortridge, that would be a point of emphasis here at the beginning of the third quarter to try to get it into the 2 big guys, because early in the game they were doing that and some good things were happening for them.
Molnex misses his first free throw. You know, from having coached in the past, I always watch free throws, rhythm that they shoot, rotation on the ball that they shoot. Molnex hits 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. I'm watching games on TV. I'm watching Drew Valentine, the two-pointer. I'm always watching players in college on TV
I have
with
some
her.
big thoughts on shooting free throws. We'll get into it sometime.
I don't know what it is in this day and age. I know back in the old days they said that a third of the points you'll score during the season will come from the free throw line, depending on what percentage free throw shooter you are. Field goal by Ethan Powell. He's now got 10. Only player in the game right now in double figures, a freshman for the Blue Devils. So his lead cut to 9. Devin Powell, I don't know how he got it inside all those people, but he did. Plug's lead goes back to 11. 37-26. Good job blocking out there by the Plugs. Moving pick on Jevin Powell, or Jevin Ruffin, excuse me. That's his second. Plugs have 2 fouls this half. Shortridge yet to commit a foul. 5:15 left in the third quarter. Plugs lead by 11. A lot of cross-court passes this half for the Blue Devils. Drew Valentine on the drive, knocked out of bounds by the Blue Devils. It'll be Speedway's ball underneath their own basket. Field goal made by number 3, Avery Giles. You got a delay of game call. A warning. Next one will be a technical foul. Timeout. 30-second taken by the Plugs. Lead cut to 9. Yeah, I think on the last inbounds play over here, I think Drew thought they were going to take it out on the other side. The referee called him over to this side. We weren't very organized in what we were doing and threw the ball away on the inbounds play.
Scholarships for Speedway Photothon will be in action. Many students have received over $1.1 million.
We're playing a little bit more zone tonight than what I've seen us play in the past. And I know that's game planning.
Thank you in advance for your continued support.
A little press for the first time tonight by the Blue Devils. Drew Valentine on the drive, and he scores. Pretty tough little 5'7" junior guard for the Plugs.
I think the instruction during that timeout is let's be patient on this time, make a few more passes, and it worked.
Reese Walker on the drive for the score with a nice pass from Drew Valentine. We had a lot of Valentines here that have played in recent years, Coach. Nice assist to Drew Valentine on the play.
Nice pass.
Ogden with the offensive rebound.
24, Alex Ogden.
That's his 4th point of the game. .30, 2:50 remaining in this third quarter. Nice back cut by Drew Valentine to Zeke Perez. Back out to Carson Harrison. And we're going to have a foul and a rebound on Zeke Perez. That'll be his 2nd. Thought all that was going to end up with a 3-pointer there.
In the game for Speedway, number 48.
Nathan Metallic replaces Zeke Perez. Tallest player on the floor for the Sparkplugs is 6-foot freshman Nate Metallic and 6-foot senior Jevin Ruffin. Plugs now back to a man-to-man defense. Nate Metallic with a nice steal. Reese Walker with a nice move inside. Walker gets his 8th point on the night. Steal by Drew Valentine.
Good pass.
Had a 3-on-1 and we had 2 guys running right next to one another. The Blue Devils convert at the other end. Close it to 11. Thought maybe we were going to have a 15-point lead there for a minute, Coach. I have foul number 1, Jaden Brookins. His 2nd foul. Camacho replaces Carson Harrison. Marcus Gibson enters the lineup for the Sparkplugs, replacing Jevin Ruffin, giving him a rest with 1:13 seconds to go in this quarter. We're going to have a foul on Alex Ogden. That'll be his 3rd.
Number 24, Alex Ogden.
Sparkplugs will take the ball out of bounds. That's going to be an offensive foul on Marcus Gibson. Ogden takes his seat for the Blue Devils. Offensive foul at the Blue Devils end. Elias Diallo with the offensive foul. I'd kind of like to run 45 seconds off the clock here,
You know what? I'm a big advocate of, and we've talked about it before, having a lead no worse than where you're at now, and hopefully maybe 2 or 3 more than what you have now. Wouldn't do that all the time, but
Reese Walker takes the shot, misses, gets his own rebound, and fouled on the putback attempt.
Foul on number 23.
Fouls on Josh Strigger.
Reese Walker at the line
Second.
for Speedway.
Walker will go to the line for 2 for the Plugs. 4 team fouls on each team. Reese Walker now 6 for 6 from the line on the night. Foul on Reese Walker, his first, team's 5th.
Carson Harrison back in the game with the Plugs.
The Sparkplug ball with 4.8 seconds to go in this quarter. Valentine misses his shot at the buzzer.
but that quarter was even, Steven, no blood. We started off with a 13-point lead and ended up with a 13-point lead. Our desire to stretch this thing out to maybe 17 or 20 points did not come to fruition. Hey, one thing I think I saw us do defensively that quarter, but maybe I just haven't noticed before or haven't paid attention. But I thought several times our guys anticipated really well. I know we had a couple steals, and I think that's a big component to playing good defense as a team, is anticipate what's going to happen. Don't react to what's going to happen, anticipate. I know we had 2 or 3 possessions in a row where we made steals because we were anticipating what was going to happen. And sometimes you kind of sit back on your heels, kind of let them do whatever they want to do. And
you know, as you said, that quarter, both teams scored 12 points, so we're same differential. Now it becomes the first 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter becomes important.
Yeah.
Whether the game gets closer or Speedway puts them in a position where they'll have trouble coming back.
And
So
teams-
each possession important right now.
And teams that haven't won a lot of games, give them a chance, and all of a sudden they get hungry, and you don't want to give them that chance. Good rebound.
Good rebound by freshman Nate Metallic. Drew drives in,
Get
gets
a
off to Reese.
Good first possession here. Yeah, I will say this, for Shortridge playing a lot of freshmen, defensively, man-to-man, they're doing a pretty nice job. And these are the things that head coaches hope pays dividends down the line next year and the year after.
In and out for Drew Valentine. Athletic move by Willie Mitchell for his first points of the game.
Steve Perez back into the game for the Pollard. Jalen Pollard in the game for Shortridge.
Zeke Perez back in for the Sparkplugs, who replaces Marcus Gibson. Alex Ogden now, and he travels. Ruffin back in for the Sparkplug lineup, replacing Elvin Camacho.
Just a little surprised that Shortridge hasn't tried to take just a little bit more advantage of their two big people inside. I think we have a hard time, could have a hard time handling them. We got bailed out there. That one was scaring me.
24, Alex Ogden.
That's Ogden's fourth foul. Sparkplugs 11-point lead, 6:20 remaining in the ball game. Zeke Perez on the shot inside.
Good
Nate
steal.
Metallic gets a steal.
Basket, Nate Metallic.
And that's his 6th point on the night. Nice steal. Once again, we've talked about freshmen.
Elias Diallo back in the game.
Alex Ogden takes a seat, got 4th foul.
Nice move.
Nice move. Couldn't finish her off. We got a foul on Jaden Brookins. It'll be his 3rd, the team's 6th.
Foul number 1, Jason Brookins.
The Plugs will have the ball out of bounds.
Good.
Nate Metallic,
Nate Metallic for 2.
2 more, and that's his 8th point on the night. Sparkplugs back to the 2-3 zone. Finds a crease in it.
Foul for 2.
Ethan Powell finds a crease in that zone and gets a layup. Nice pass from Javon Ruffin to Zeke Perez. And we've got a player down.
Foul number 42, Jalen Mullinex. Avery Giles back in the game. Basket's good. It's the line shooting one, number 34, Zeke Perez.
Zeke Perez with the field goal. Plugs lead goes up to 15. The chance to go to 16.
Will Smith in the game for
4:32. 32, Will Smith into the game for, except his number says 31. Will Smith, a junior. Perez hits a free throw.
Full timeout taken by Speedway.
Is this the biggest lead of the game, Coach, for the Sparkplugs?
Yes. I think we had a 13-point lead in the first half, but the 16-point lead is our biggest. That's a really good finish right there. Us getting
2
pressed.
seniors.
Yeah.
Unselfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to what we talked about, Coach Joe Smith, that in between games, girls varsity coach, about the unselfishness of his team, and the same would be said for the boys varsity basketball team. A very unselfish group. Mullenix, like a knee or ankle injury. We've had more players hurt tonight in the JV game and the varsity game, Coach. Than 4:32 remaining in the game. Plugs lead by 16, and now patience will be really important.
It's really our first opportunity since the Eminence game where we were in a very similar position. I was just going to say the Sparkplugs had one foul to give, and they just gave it. I wish we could have hung on to that one a little bit longer. Both teams will be shooting bonus now.
Elias Diallo with his first point on the night. We've got a foul on 3. That's Avery Giles, who picked up 2 fouls early and hadn't picked one up since. But that's going to send Drew Valentine to the free throw line.
Valentine heading to the line for 1-1.
Valentine goes to the line, 1-1.
Talked earlier about only hitting 92 free throws this year. I think we're going to get an opportunity here in the last 4 minutes because.
Coach, I didn't want to say anything till it happened, but we were 9 for 9 from the free throw line till that miss right there. Alex Ogden is going to go to the line for the Blue Devils. Reffin's third foul. Ogden hits the first of 2. Very deliberate, finds his spot on the floor with his feet. Good rotation on the ball.
Good board.
Reese Walker with the board. And that's his 12th point. Valentine with the foul. Giles with the field goal.
With the foul. Harrison returns. Basket good by Giles and is in the line for 1.
Giles misses his first free throw attempt of the night. He has 9 points. 3:25 remaining in the ball game. Plugs lead by 13. Easy for us up here to say, but now's the time to be moving the ball, and time is our ally right now.
It's not that we have to sit on it and not shoot, but at the same time, There's no reason. Right now their defensive pressure is not that much. Coach Bennett yells 5 open offense.
I think the more you have it now in Harrison and Carson Harrison on the drive, the more you have the ball in Harrison and Valentine and Walker's hands, the better off it's going to be with your free throw shooters. Plugs lead by 15, 2 minutes to go. Three-pointer by Ethan Powell.
They don't go away.
Foul on 33, Elias Diallo. Walker's going to go to the free throw line.
Reese Walker, 2 components for Speedway.
Reese Walker shooting 70% on the season going into this game, and he is 8 for 8 in this game. The Plugs going to chalk up a victory tonight. 1:20 left in the game. They lead by 14.
And you want to see a finish strong.
You know, a game as we talked about during the course of the game, a game with a lot of young players and both teams playing. I believe we got a foul on number 12, Ethan Powell.
Ethan Powell is the foul.
Carson Harrison is going to go to the line.
Harrison at the line.
I missed. I said we were 9 for 9. Carson Harrison missed the first free throw of the game we shot. We're in the double bonus, so he's going to have the chance to hit a couple here. Here I said we were 9 for 9 from the free throw line, and we were 9 for 10 before. Harrison's got 9 points on the night, 2 3-pointers. He said 9 points. He has 11 points and now 12. Ethan Powell on the drive, and it falls.
Foul for 2.
Timeout taken by Shortridge. So 50.5 seconds to go. Plugs lead by 13. Same thing we had at halftime, the end of the third quarter.
Yep.
So we played an even second half.
This usually is the time of the year with a lot of weekday games. Closer you get to sectional,
We
you'll
get
see
to
a-
girls sectionals times. That's
Yeah.
what happens at weekend, Saturday afternoon games and things, so you're not interfering with regionals.
And generally you'll see a lot of coaches from other schools starting to scout because there's midweek games, nights that they're not playing. I see Cascade here tonight. I don't see anybody else, but I remember from coaching, especially my last year with class basketball, there were a lot of opportunities during the week to go to other schools to see teams play.
Chris DuBois, Cascade here tonight, who the Plugs will play on Saturday night. Chris has been at Cascade a long time.
Yep. Yep.
Good guy.
Yep. Yeah, it was a really, I think, smart play by Reese Walker. I think he realized that 10-second count was getting closer than what we wanted it to, and he put a sprint dribble from about the logo there to the half court to make sure he got the ball over in time.
Perfect from the free throw line tonight. 10 for 10 for Reese Walker from the free throw line. Ethan Powell for 3, and it goes in. Powell's got 20 points on the night.
Foul. Don't foul.
Fouls on Ethan Powell. Zeke Perez will go to the free throw line. He is 1 for 1 on the night so far. He'll have 2 more opportunities here. Perez with 7 points on the night, misses the second. On the jump shot, misses. Shot up by Will Smith, no good. And the final score tonight's ball game, Sparkplugs win by 13. We said the same differential as we had at halftime, so it was even the second half, but the Plugs come away with a victory tonight. And we will be right back with your scoring and talk to Coach Charles Bennett. Hello, basketball fans. Once again, we're back here at the Sparkplugs victory tonight in Morris Pollard Gymnasium. Sparkplugs win 63-50 over the Shortridge Blue Devils. Quickly scoring, the 2 leading scorers for the Blue Devils tonight. Ethan Powell, a freshman, had 20 points. Avery Giles had 9. Let's talk about each one of the Speedway Sparkplug scorers. Leading scorer tonight was Reese Walker, who was 10 for 10 from the free throw line with 16 points. Carson Harrison had 12 points. Drew Valentine had 10 points. Jevin Ruffin had 7. Nate Metallic 8. Elvin Camacho 3. Zeke Perez 7. Good victory. 3 guys in double figure and 3 other close to double figures. A good win for the Sparkplugs tonight. I am here with Jevin Ruffin, a senior for the Sparkplugs. Once again, former coach Ron Probst.
Jevin, first of all, congratulations on the big win tonight. That was huge.
Thank you.
One thing I admire about you is, I know last year you were playing behind a lot of seniors.
Yeah.
You probably wanted to play more varsity action than what you got in, but you got a lot of experience with the JV. How do you see this? This team really has evolved here in the last 4 or 5 games. What do you see us doing so much better than we did early in the year?
Well, we made some personal changes to the team. got some guys off that really were on board, and then we just started practicing better and playing better. And then we're just trying to get on a roll and get ready for sectionals.
What do you see as you as a senior, and there's only a couple of seniors, what do you see your role in terms of what the guys last year tried to do for the underclassmen? What do you see your role this year trying to do for the underclassmen?
I'm just trying to lead for them. We have 3 starters coming back next year, maybe 4. So just trying to lead, set a good example, give them somebody to talk to, and give them somebody to rely on if they ever need help or a question.
Good. Tell us your schedule here at Speedway. What's your schedule throughout the day?
I got first period gym, second period AP government, third period English 12, fourth period AP econ, fifth period AP calc, sixth period civil engineering and architecture, and seventh period human anatomy.
So you have how many AP classes?
I have 3.
3 AP classes. Is that more work in those classes than others?
Yes, definitely.
What would you say your favorite one is?
AP calc.
AP Calc?
Yeah.
That's the new teacher this year, Brian
Yes, it is.
Passwater. He's really, really good from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Plans for next year, what do you think you might want to do?
I'm going to go to IUPUI, and I'm going to study finance.
Finance. And so if you came back here 10 years from now and we called you up out of the bleachers and said, hey, give us an update on your life, what would you think you'd be doing 10 years from now? What would you like to be doing?
I would like to have a job that I enjoy, and hopefully I've started a family with a house and kids on the way.
It's a pretty good goal. Pretty good outlet. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. Congratulations on not just that, but how you've carried yourself and how you've improved and how you become a good leader for our team. But that's huge. Leadership is behemoth when it comes to a senior especially. So congratulations and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Interject a quick thought on the leadership part of it. I don't know who you looked to last year, but it's neat that kids are looking to you this year, and you grew into this. It just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had to have some examples last year of who that is, but senior leadership is so important. And Coach Probst and I talked about it up here tonight. It's like you're, to use an example, my kids always say I use dumb examples, but you're kind of like a flower that's just starting to bloom in terms of leadership, in terms of your play, in terms of your hustle, in terms of everything. And I know we both talked up here tonight. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now to your coach.
Well, before Jevin leaves, I don't even know what he said or anything, but just hearing those final comments, Jevin has been our rock. As our senior this year. Without his leadership, we wouldn't be here where we are right now. We wouldn't be playing the way we're playing. He's been unselfish. He'd love to probably play on the perimeter a little bit more. Not underneath the basket. He'd probably not like to guard 6'6" guys, but you know what? He wants to win more than anything, and he does it the right way. Is your GPA up above a 4.0 now?
Yes.
Yeah,
It is.
up above a 4.0 GPA. Does a great job with all our Little League stuff and sets the tone every day. He's a leader in stretches. He's here, came in early on Saturday, this past Saturday, and did work. He just does all those things. So proud of you. It's awesome. We got a good way to finish. You can take off and go get some rest.
Lead by example.
Yep.
Good job.
Oh, thank you, bud.
Yep.
Have a
Good,
good one.
Jevin.
Thank you, too.
See you, Jevin.
Talk to us about tonight. More fun when you win, as a coach and as a player too.
Yeah, well, when you do it the way that we want to do it too, the way that we think is
Absolutely.
going to give our team the best chance to be competitive in all the games the rest of the year, and then most importantly in the sectional. We have another quote this year by Nick Saban that says, "Don't talk about what you're going to do, talk about how you're going to do it, and the what will take care of itself." So the how is we got to box out. We challenged Zeke Perez in the second half. I'm not sure 42 got an offensive rebound in the second half. There were other guys that got offensive rebounds, but Zeke Perez did a great job. We had a bad start to the third quarter, called a timeout, got in some guys, and we executed our offense. We extended our possessions, got what we wanted, and then we were able to finish the game. Sometimes that's the hardest thing when you're up by some points to handle all that, but it's better to learn now and go with that. I don't know how many points Ogden had tonight, but
4.
4,
Or
okay.
6, I'm sorry.
6,
2
okay.
free
And
throws.
then number 1, 2, who we were a little bit worried about, I thought Reese Walker did a great job on him. We did a great job all the way around, and we knew that if somebody scored 20 like Ethan Powell, he's going to be a very nice player. He's only a freshman, but we knew that we had a very good chance to win. So it was great. And then just to watch our kids share the basketball, and I thought some huge minutes. Even I know Marcus Gibson would like to play a lot more than he does, but he did some great minutes there in the third quarter. came in for us, and then in the start of the fourth when we needed guys to rest. So that's the way we want to play as a team, and that's the best part. And I'm so proud of the kids because 2 weeks ago, coming into the Ben Davis game, I'm not sure people really gave us a chance to finish the season strong, and these kids are proving them wrong. So.
Well, we talked about it at halftime. You were ahead by 13, and we talked about how important the first 3 or 4 minutes were of the next quarter. Well, both of you scored 12 in the next quarter, and it was still 13. So we talked about the first 3 or 4 minutes of the fourth quarter being important, and in each one of those, you battled, and it's got down to 9, I think, maybe at one time, but both of you scored 18 in the last, so it ended up the same differential as you were, and that isn't easy to do. Sometimes it starts slipping away from you, and it snowballs, and to your kids' credit, and the coaching staff's credit, you didn't let that happen. You had 3 people in double figures and 3 others that were close to double figures, which goes back to your point of sharing the basketball and not caring who scores.
Well, and I think Nate Metallic did a great job coming off the bench tonight with energy. Elvin Camacho did a great job coming off, especially Nate right away. He's really growing up as a player as well, understanding what we're trying to do. But we were all very well connected in what we were trying to do. So.
Yeah, just one thing. When you have a team that sometimes is challenged to score, you have to score in different ways. And tonight, you did something that you haven't done a lot all year because you haven't shot a lot of free throws this year. You shot a lot of free throws tonight, 20, I believe, and you hit 16 of them. That was huge.
That's 80%. Good.
Yeah.
Our goal is 70%.
And Reese Walker was 10 for 10.
Yeah. Reese Walker has done a great job this year. He's our leading guy to get,
Sure, but different ways to score, and you found a different way to score tonight other than field goals, because sometimes that's not going to happen.
Right.
And your kids took the ball to the basket real well and drew the fouls and converted when they got there. So.
Yep. And again, credit to them. And as you said, this was Coach Buster's, our freshman coach, first time this year. Our first time coach, this was his first scouting report night. This was his team. I divvy out teams, so he got his first victory of a.
You need to send him to every team.
Well, he probably should send him, yeah. So jinx him or something. So, but yeah, so great. So.
Once again, great win.
Yep.
On behalf of Ron Probst, Charles Bennett, myself, Tom Smith, I'd like to thank Bill P. and the SCTV TV group here for bringing you tonight's game. Once again, a Sparkplug victory, 63-50 over the Shortridge Blue Devils from Pollard Gymnasium. Have a good evening.